Why is my capture not working? Well, welcome back anyway. This is gonna be a pretty chill, laid-back one. Hopefully I don't have to completely reboot OBS to get this working. Yeah, I didn't sleep very well at all, and it took me a while to get going tonight, so I called off the regular stream. And then I was sitting here and I was like, well, I have to do laundry, and I'm just gonna be sitting here playing this anyway, so I was like, I might as well just stream it. I don't think that many people are gonna be super interested in watching it, but like, what the hell, right? Why is my capture device just, like, not there at all? That's fantastic. Every now and then it does this. I usually catch it before I actually, like, start streaming and can fix it in advance. I didn't expect it to happen right this minute because it was just working fine last night. As it's gonna go. Hey Seven, how's it going? Yeah, I started really late tonight, so it's understandable that you can't stay long. That's alright. See if I can just do this and maybe it'll work. Cool, that was actually easier than it usually is. Usually I have to finagle with that for quite some time. Played nice tonight. Anyway, yeah, so I'm a big fan of Picross. I imagine a lot of people don't even know what this is, but that's okay. As I said, I was just gonna be sitting here doing laundry and playing this anyway, so I was like, why don't I just stream it? And the gameplay will be secondary. Like, this will be more about just like hanging out, I think. Hopefully it's not too late for that. Like, it might already be far too late in the night for anybody to stop by for anything like that, but why not, right? I'm actually hoping that there aren't too many people stopping by that are like, hey, explain what this is to me, because, like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to explain this very well. I've been playing Picross for so long that it's, like, just kind of ingrained in my mind. Like, I don't really have to think about it anymore. Which is great from a gameplay standpoint, but if I had to explain it to somebody who's never seen it before, I don't know if I'd be able to do that. We'll find out. I've never seen this explain this to me. So basically what I have to do is, here's a good example actually. Like, take this row, 5, 2, 1. So there's gonna be a string of 5 blocks, a string of 2 blocks, and a string of 1 block, and they have to have spaces in between them. This one is particularly easy because it's a row of 10, so I know there's only one combination that they can be in. So I can just go ahead and fill that in. And then say take this one. This is a column of 2. Well, we already know one of them is here, so it has to be connected to this, which means there's not going to be any blocks here. Same with this. We can eliminate those. These are a set of 3 ones, so we know nothing's going to be connected here. And now, like, as I'm crossing things off, like, this is a row of 5. Can't be in here because there's not 5 blocks there, so let's go ahead and eliminate those, which means we know that these go this way. it kind of, like, snowballs after a while, to a point where it's just kind of, like, filling out itself, and I stopped thinking about it. Like I said, I feel like it's tough to explain because I'm so... My mind is so trained for these at this point that, like, I don't really have to think about it. I just see it. This looks like too much work for your brain right now. Yeah. I remember when I was little, like, Nintendo has been making Picross games for, like, 2 decades. They made a couple of Mario Picross games on Super Nintendo and on the Game Boy. So I discovered them way back then via emulators, and I kind of got instantly hooked, even though at that time, like, my brain couldn't fully comprehend what I was doing. Like, I wasn't very good at it. I'd say it wasn't until the last decade that I actually started, like, fully understanding what was happening. Oh, this one's a forced no assist. I was already using no assist, because that's, like, how you go for completion. Hey, Spaghetti, how's it going? Thanks for stopping by so late. Thanks everyone for stopping by so late. You're so sad? Why? Dare I ask? But I kind of hope, like, there is a small part of me that's like, I hope people do like watching something like this, because this is good chill stream material, where I can really put a focus on talking with chat over actually playing the game. Like, I do have to focus, but it's very easy to focus while also occasionally looking away to see what's going on in chat. Like, all I'll lose is a couple seconds on the clock, and you're not really timed in this game. You're only timed in the sense of, like, going for a personal best, I guess. Oh, you're sad because you have too many streamers to watch? I feel your pain there. Cool. Yeah, see, now I have a little star ribbon up in the corner because I did all these without assist. And we got some clip Picrosses for this. So these are new in this one. This is the second Picross game that came out on Switch. The first one didn't have these, which are like a bunch of smaller Picrosses that make up a bigger picture. So I'm kind of new to these. I've never seen these before. I mean, it's the same basic principle, but well, if it helps you decide, Spaghetti, I'm probably not going to be streaming super long tonight. Probably only until my laundry's done. Unless, like, a lot of people are watching, then I'll probably hang out longer. Hey Eric, how's it going? But yeah, I definitely feel your pain on that. Like, I definitely... Well, this is a big one. This is a big one. I've definitely had nights where I'm like, there are too many people to watch. And I can't watch all of them. And that makes me sad. I've even had nights where I'm streaming, and I'm like, man, I wish I wasn't streaming, because all these people are live. course, I say that this is so good at letting me keep up with chat, and I'm like currently doing a very bad job of doing that. So you have no time to live? Don't look at it that way, Spaghetti. I mean, do you watch streams on your phone or on a computer? Because personally, when I have too many people to watch, I just watch a bunch of them all at once. But of course, you can't really do that on a phone, so... But that would be my advice. Find a computer to get comfortable in front of, and open up a few of them at once. It's a game you think you could get into? There are a bunch of different Picross games. If like, Picross S, which is... I have that too, here somewhere. Yeah. Picross S is available on the Switch. That came out, like, maybe about a year ago, and then S2 came out just, like, 2 weeks ago. But if you're cool with emulation at all, they go back as far as Super Nintendo and Game Boy. So I would almost say give those a shot, because they're free. One of the Game Boy ones is exclusive to Japan. The first one came out in America, or at least it came out in Europe. There is an English version of it. The second one was only available in Japan, and I think the Super Nintendo one was only in Japan too. But you don't really need to be able to read anything aside from the tutorials, I guess. Otherwise, they made a bunch on DS and a bunch on 3DS. There's a whole bunch of them. There are even websites where you can find like free websites where you can find like an unlimited number of Picross. Now the downside with those is that they tend to be like community-made puzzles, and sometimes they're like not that good. But it is an option for at least exploring it. Yeah, I could see that funk. Like I said, like, years ago when I was still kind of learning how to do these, I would have been in the same position where I would have been like, man, I know. Like, I've already thought too much today. But this honestly takes... This is, like, so second nature to me that it doesn't really take a lot of brain power. I'm more focused on listening for the washer to stop so I can go switch my laundry. I missed one. Hey Griffin Gamer, how's it going? I think doing them without marking dead spaces would, like, actually be impossible. not impossible, but incredibly hard. I already turned off a bunch of, like, the assist functions in this game, because they do have a bunch of stuff that, like, helps you out if you're, like, fairly new. And I did turn all those off. Because, like, they have a roulette where it'll, like, randomly pick a row and a column to reveal at the beginning of when you start the puzzle. So I have that turned off. They have auto-fixing mistakes, which I turned that off. And what was the other one? Oh, the other one makes it that, like, it highlights the rows when you have it correctly filled in or something. But it kind of already does that. That one feels kind of redundant to me anyway. But yeah, harder puzzles you probably wouldn't be able to do without Xing out areas. Easier ones you could probably do. It's a little bit like Sudoku, sure. I could see that. Oh, you just finished your own stream, Griffin? How did that go? I don't think I knew that you had a channel. Watch you have like 5 million subscribers. I guess the better question is, what were you playing? Spaghetti, what's the point of this game? I mean, it's just a puzzle game, so you're just solving the puzzles. Unless you mean, like, how am I solving the puzzles? Which is a much more complicated question. One thing that's potentially bad about streaming something like this is, like, sometimes when I pause, I completely lose track of where I was. Like, it derails my train of thought. And then I have to, like, analyze the puzzle and figure out where, like, what was I doing. Hey Marco, how's it going? Yeah, and like, I'm still on pretty simple puzzles here, to be fair. Like, let's take a look at what a Mega Picross takes. Although these are still only 5x5s. What's the difference? Oh, it's this. If I remember correctly, these are actually, like, the same puzzles. They just use these weird numbers. Which I'm not a big fan of, and I'm not totally sure how to explain those, because I'm not very good with those yet. What I was hoping is that they'd throw me at, like, a really big puzzle. See, let's go back out, and... because these are all 10 by 10s. 10 by 10, 10 by 10, there's some 15s. How big do they get? They go up to 20 by 15 in this game. There, we're gonna jump ahead and do a 15 by 15 and see how much this breaks me. I mean, now granted, this is like the very first 15 by 15, so it might not be that bad, but... Yes, Spaghetti, it's kind of funny that, like, last night there was nobody live. Like, I was bored out of my mind last night. I almost started a second stream at one point because there was nothing happening. And now tonight, like, there's a ton of people live. And I'm alright, Marco. I slept very poorly, which is why I started as late as I did. It took me a while to, like, actually get myself up and, like, moving at all. I was complaining a little bit yesterday about having a bit of a headache thanks to the weather, and I think that's part of why I didn't sleep very well. But then, as usual, I talked myself into doing this late stream, and it's like, I already feel better, because streaming usually makes me feel better, so... Could be there, so we don't know enough to fix that yet. We do know enough for that, though. So don't know enough... Yes, we do know enough for that. I've also been struggling a bit lately with, like, what am I going to stream? Yeah, it was a little bit after 11 when I started. I didn't climb out of bed until, like, 9:45. Like, I way overdid it tonight. Alright. Okay, we're gonna start this slow, because otherwise... If I jump right into the later stuff like that, I'm gonna be, like, tremendously bored once I get around to the harder stuff later, so... One step at a time. But yeah, I've been having a bit of trouble lately with, like, weighing... Like, I started just scheduling the streams and then deciding what game I want to play, like, when I get up that day. And I feel like that's been kind of backfiring, because now I'm indecisive a lot of the time. Where I wake up and I'm like, I don't know what I feel like playing. Whereas before, it was like, it kind of sucked, because every now and then I'd be like, I don't feel like playing this game. but at least, like, I knew what I was doing. But then there's also, like, I think I mentioned yesterday, it might have been a couple days before that, where, like, I feel like I made a big mistake committing to drawing the little characters in the corner for streams, because now, like, there's a bunch of playthroughs that I want to do, but I can't do them until I have a character drawn for them. So that kind of created an unfortunate bottleneck. I need to really get on a good kick art-wise and get a bunch of drawing done and get a bunch of those done in advance so that they're ready. I never really played that much Minesweeper, actually. Like, I definitely remember it, but it wasn't something I played a whole lot of. These puzzles are already starting to get a little bit more complicated. I don't know if anybody can notice that. It's taking a little bit more work to, like, look at what I'm dealing with and try to figure out what I can narrow down. Yeah, suddenly difficulty spike. I mean, I'm alright with that, but I almost wasn't prepared for it. I can't... yeah, I can do that. Now we know this... Oops, not that. Both threes can't fit over there, so one has to be here, which means that's this. Do. And usually this is what happens, like, even with the more complicated ones. Like, it took me a while to find, like, that one moment that just completely broke the puzzle wide open. But then once I do, it's right back to having it just snowball. It's like, oh, we're done. Hey Fawful, how's it going? I finished Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. Last time I streamed that, I finished it after like 2 hours of being on the final boss because I massively screwed it up at one point and had to start over. And even then I had this really weird glitch during the final boss. Like, I'm surprised that I didn't have to start it over a second time because of that glitch. Where Luigi was, like, randomly taking triple damage than he should have been taking. I tried to look that up, too, to see if it was a known glitch, and I didn't see anything about it, which is, like, even weirder. No, I did the first 4 worlds in Kirby last night. I'm gonna do more Kirby tomorrow, so... I'll probably beat normal mode tomorrow. It might be kind of late by the time I finish, though. But then I'm also gonna do extra mode at some point, so it won't be all over once I finish normal mode. Alright, phone, thanks for stopping in. Okay, I think my wash stopped, so I'm gonna do like these next 2 puzzles for like a good stopping point. And I'll stop, go switch that around, and then I'll come right back and keep going. And, if there are enough people around at the end, we'll definitely raid somebody, so... If you can hang out that long, it's definitely appreciated. The fact that anyone even came to hang out at all for this is very much appreciated. I had a feeling that this was gonna be like a... I was just gonna be sitting here alone for like 2 hours while I did my laundry kind of stream. So it's pretty cool that people stopped in at all, even if they couldn't stay long or whatever. Especially nice because, like, I don't know, it feels good to stretch my brain muscles a little bit. But sometimes that can be very quiet and lonely, so it's kind of nice to have at least a little bit of company while I'm doing these. Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on who's live. That's why I said in advance I'll definitely be raiding, because I know that I have options. It all just comes down to if there's enough people to do it. Which I hope there is, because raiding is fun. Like, I don't want it to sound, like, guilt-trippy or anything, but, like, it sucked last night that I wasn't able to... There weren't enough people at the end of the stream for me to raid. Because I always like taking the party elsewhere. Sometimes introducing people to new streamers. It is always good fun, so I usually get disappointed when I'm not able to do that. That's alright if you can't make it tomorrow, Spaghetti. If, as long as I get up and start on time, I'll probably be live. It'll probably be a pretty long stream tomorrow, so even if you can't make it for all of it, even if you can only make it for some of it, that's cool too. If you can't make it for any of it, that's fine. That's also fine. I don't expect anybody to be here all the time. Especially right now, because I know that so many people are starting school and such. So I know it's a busy time of the year. Alright, I'm gonna take a really quick break just to switch my laundry around. So it shouldn't take long. And then I'll jump straight back into this, and... I don't know, I'll probably be going for like an hour or so. Maybe not even that long. I don't know. So, and then, yeah, like I said, we'll definitely raid at the end if there's enough people here to do it. So, yeah, stay tuned. I'll be right back. Yeah, I need to get back to Woolly World as well. That kind of goes back to what I was saying about... I made the mistake of committing to drawing guys for the corner, because I'm not happy with the Yoshi I have drawn, and I want to draw a new one. That's the reason I haven't gotten back to Woolly World. So, yeah. Sometimes I don't really love my commitment to drawing somebody for the corners, because sometimes it's just... I just want to play it, you know? Like, there's a bunch of... I have a list up on my whiteboard of potential games to play, and there's a bunch on there where I'm like, I just want to play it, but I don't have anything drawn for it yet. I think I like the little extra, like, splash of character it adds to the stream, though, so... I don't know. I think it's something I should stay committed to. Now, stuff like this, there's not really anything I can draw to put down in the corner there, but... Anyway, yeah, I'll be right back. Stay tuned. Okay. Fortunately, the washer and dryer is like literally like 5 feet away, so it's just outside the room, so that never turns into a very big ordeal. But yeah, I imagine a lot of people are gonna hear that and think like, that's ridiculous, just play the game. And it's like, I kind of agree, but I don't know, it reached a point where whenever I was streaming Yoshi, whenever I would look down at my computer screen and see that drawing like staring back at me, I'd be like, man, I really don't like that, I can do better. And it really started to bother me, so that's why I was eventually like, nope, I'm gonna draw another one before I continue playing that. My productivity has been quite low lately, though. I need to get that back in order. For multiple reasons. There's a lot of, like, not even just stream stuff that I have to get done. Lemon tea, that's so specific. A lot of the times I don't even really see what the finished result is here. Like, I'm just like, alright, next puzzle. Let's go, keep moving. Oh, I forgot that I unlocked some of those chips to go do. It was okay. That's definitely an example of, like, my perfectionist nature showing through. Because, like I said, the more I looked at it, the more I was like, I'm not happy with this. And like I said, it kind of has to, like... It kind of has to meet my standards there, because, like, I'm gonna have to look at it for however long the playthrough lasts. And, like, Woolly World's lasting a while. Like, I think that's gonna be a pretty long playthrough, actually. Because I think it's already like 3 or 4 episodes in. I feel like I could get at least another maybe 2 episodes out of it. Alright, Spaghetti, take it easy. Thanks for stopping in. Especially if you had that many streamers live and you couldn't decide who to watch. It means a lot that you stopped in here for even just a little bit. There's 6 worlds in Woolly World, I think. I don't think there's like an extra world, but there might be. I'm eager to get away from the 10x10 puzzles and get to 15x15. Sadly, it looks like that's going to take a while. The 15x15 ones are going to be a little bit more of ordeals. Hey, Eagle Gamer, how's it going? Thanks for stopping in. I hope this isn't too confusing for people to be watching, like... I'm kind of mixed, because I said early on about how, like, I kind of hope that I don't have to be, like, explaining what's going on, like, too often, because one, it'll probably get tiring of having to explain it so many times, and two, I don't think I do a good job of explaining it, but... I do hope that people can, like, mostly comprehend what they're seeing. Ooh, we have a first one on this one. It's a 15 by 10, too. Nice. Well, who knows what that's supposed to be. We'll do the first one last. I think I actually have all of them on that one, so I think I'll be finishing that one. Well, that one was really easy. Not totally sure what I'm looking at here. Neat. Hammering through here. Freaking headaches coming back a bit though. Kind of trained myself to see when I'm making assumptions like that and realizing like, oh hey, no.
allergies are definitely starting to act up again.
Having a hard time seeing whatever that's... How's that a balcony? I guess I kinda see it. Yeah, that was a 10 by 10. But they're definitely starting to get a little bit more complicated. Oh, so you have to clear all of these to even unlock these two. I'm gonna be one short on this one. It sucks. Why did it look like an axe from Minecraft? Just because of the pixel art, I guess. What is this, as in, like, what's the modem doing? Or, like, what is the picture supposed to be? Because I don't know what the picture's supposed to be yet. Like I said at one point earlier, I'm like, sometimes I don't even see the grid. Or I see the picture, that is. Sometimes seeing the picture can be, like, a very not good thing, because then you'll start filling in squares based on, like, what you think the image is, and that can lead you astray pretty quickly. Oh, the grid size? This one is 10 by 15? This is a 10 by 5. So that's Cinderella, and that's the pumpkin turning into a coach. That's what we're looking at here. This is the big one.
stepsisters, maybe?
I expect these are all going to be similarly themed as such. This puzzle got very big all of a sudden.
That's 3.
No, that's right. Whew, that was a bit more of an ordeal.
I think that's the stepsisters.
Maybe? This must be Cinderella and the Prince, maybe.
Dancing. those won't be nearly as involved. Now's when my not so great sleeping is gonna start catching up with me. Such a mix, because I was kind of like, you know, I really want them to get more complicated, but like now that they are getting more complicated, I'm like, whoa, I wasn't ready for this. Thought I was, but I think this music might be a little bit too chill. That might be part of the problem. It's keeping me a little bit too mellow. That was the last one here. Okay. So we're all caught up on those. We're one away from this one, so I feel like another row of 5 and we're going to be able to finish that. So that's pretty cool. Have these first 2 done with no assist and everything. Good stuff. If I could get both of those done before I stop, I think I'd be satisfied with that. Not necessarily. Slow down.
And now we're back to, like, the puzzles that are fairly brainless. I mean, really, it makes all the difference in the world when they give you rows like this that are, like, so obvious, like, that there's only one solution. Even rows like this, where it's, you can fill in most of it. Like, those make such a dent in the overall puzzle. Helps a lot. Gives you a good place to start, I guess, is what I'm getting at. And sometimes, like, as they get harder and harder, that's usually why it gets harder, is because they kind of deprive you of a good place to start. Sometimes. Sometimes that isn't necessarily the case. See, this one lacks an obvious starting place. So that was when I have to start actually, like, thinking. I have to start looking at, like, rows and columns at the same time to try and triangulate exactly, like, any sort of solution at all. This is when it starts getting messy, and this is probably when people watching are probably going to be like, how the hell are you coming up with this? Well, as I was saying earlier, years and years and years and years of practice. That can be closed off. Goes here, here, here. Yeah, that's not a safe bet. This is a safe bet. see, that looked to flow pretty quickly, but now I'm like, now what? Another thing that probably makes it hard to read is that, like, I'm probably moving very quickly, and so if people don't necessarily know what they're watching, it might just come out as, like, a blur. Like, you're not fully understanding, like, my thought process or anything. It's one of those things where, like, it's almost like my peripheral vision does a bunch of the work. Like, while I'm going around filling in squares, my eyes are elsewhere, like, trying to figure out what's next. It's good mental exercise. I feel bad that I did this so late because I have a feeling Blue would like this. But I believe she was already in bed when I started. This one in particular is for Switch, yes, but there are a lot of different Picross games out there. There were definitely, like, Nintendo's been putting out a bunch of them for quite some time. There was a Mario Picross on Super Nintendo, there was 2 on Game Boy. They put out a bunch on DS and that weird DSiWare shop. I think there was some on there too. There have been a bunch on 3DS. I was pretty happy that they started bringing them over to Switch too, because I don't think they were ever on, like, Wii or Wii U. I think they skipped those. But not only did they bring them to Switch, but, like, it was pretty quickly when the first one hit. I think it was, like, shortly after I got my Switch, which was around August. I played Puyo Puyo Tetris, like the demo, if that's what you mean. If that's not what you mean, then no. I want to get Puyo Puyo Tetris at some point, but it's kind of expensive. Even though I'm pretty sure I'd play the hell out of it. I don't know if that would stream well, for example, so it's hard to justify it from that perspective. I feel like it's probably something I'd be playing on my own a lot. Hey View, how's it going? Yeah, I'd really like to get Puyo Puyo Tetris at some point, but it's fairly pricey. I know when I grabbed the demo, I played that alone for many hours. So I think I would enjoy it, because I enjoy both Puyo Puyo and Tetris, so I think I would get good mileage out of it, but I don't know, do people like watching games like that? I mean, maybe I shouldn't concern myself too much with that. Maybe I should just do it if it's a game I know I would enjoy playing. once again, we have some more complicated puzzles on our hands right now, so... Now is probably when people are gonna be like, this makes my brain hurt. And I feel ya, believe me, like... My inner child is like kind of screaming at the moment, being like, how you do this? Wait, no, not that. Probably that, but maybe. No, actually, that would have been wrong, so it's a good thing I backtracked on that. Also, I love how I kept saying at the start of this, like, oh, this is good for streaming because it's easy to, like, look away and catch up with chat, and then I've proceeded to be doing a terrible job of it, like, all night so far. So I will catch up in just a minute. Yeah, View, I wanted to get Overcooked 1. Like, when I first saw Overcooked, I was like, that looks like a lot of fun. And then I think I read Steam reviews that basically said don't get it unless you have people to play with, because it's impossible to play alone. So I never got it. And then when I saw that Overcooked 2 was going to have online play, I was like, 100% absolutely, I want to get that game, I want to stream it, I want to play it with people. I haven't heard anybody else talking about it, though, so I skipped it, because I was like... I got Mario Tennis because I wanted to play that with people, and I only ever had, like, 2 people that wanted to play it. And 2 is, like, including trolls. So yeah, I talked myself down on Overcooked 2. Yeah, I think about that with a lot of different games, of like, will people want to watch this? When I woke up tonight, my original plan tonight was to play Captain Toad, and I just really wasn't feeling it, so, and I overslept because I didn't sleep well. So after I got up, I committed to the idea of not streaming, and then I jumped on the eShop and picked this up because I'd been meaning to for a while. And then I was like, you know, I'm just going to be sitting here playing it anyway. I'm just going to be doing laundry while I do it. I might as well just stream it and see what happens. Like, I didn't expect too many people to be interested in it. It's not going to be one of my harder hitting streams for sure, but I definitely had some people pop in that were like, ooh, what's this? So I still feel like I accomplished something. I think it did better than I expected it would. I may have interested some people that like formerly didn't know like what Picross was, and now they're like, ooh, I could get into this. So I feel like it still accomplished something, but I definitely ask myself that question pretty constantly. Like, oh, is anyone going to want to watch this? Though in some cases I stream it just because I want to play it. I don't care if people want to watch it. That's why I played Iconoclast. I didn't play Iconoclast because I thought people would want to watch it. I played it because I wanted to play it, and I was like, you know, like, my regulars will come hang out and they'll watch just because I'm streaming, not necessarily because of the game I'm playing, so it's something for them, which is still good. I've found that you'll really come to value your regulars over time, the ones that are willing to come and watch basically no matter what you play. Because they make you feel empowered. They make you feel like you really can just play anything you want and that people will still watch it. And that's a really good feeling. Like, that was kind of my goal with this with my channel, is I wanted to get to a point where I could just play whatever I wanted to play and people would still be down to hang out and watch. And I feel like I'm a good deal of the way there. Not quite all the way there yet, but making good progress. Yeah, Mega Man was really weird. When I got the Classic Legacy Collection, there really weren't that many people watching me play that. The X Collection did rather well. I actually had quite a few people that were really into watching that. But even then there were times when I was like, kind of feels like nobody's watching right now. But yeah, there were a lot of nights there where I was just like, I want to play some friggin' Mega Man X, so I'm gonna play some friggin' Mega Man X. You guys can deal with it. As my buddy Kenny Maximum likes to say, it's YouTube. It's not their tube. And he's completely right. I do think at times you have to do things that will like cater to the audience a little bit more and pull in the views and all that, but when it comes down to it, it's what you want to do. It's not what they want to do. Celeste is gonna be another one when I sit down to play Celeste. Like, I don't know if people are going to watch that, but I want to play it, so I'm gonna do it. I bought it like weeks ago, and I still haven't played it. I want to play more Mega Man X, actually. But I finished the first collection, so that means I have to pick up the second collection, which are the games that are very hit or miss. I might go back to try and play some Classic, because when I was playing the X collection, I kept saying, I was like, it's really cool that people are watching this. When I was playing Classic, nobody was watching it, and I had a lot of people that were like, I didn't know about your channel yet when you played Classics, so I would have been watching if I had. And I was like, all right, maybe I'll come back to it then. I mean, I'll watch pretty much anybody play Mega Man X. The only time I draw the line is when... You know how gamers are these days. Some gamers will be very much like, they're not used to games being that hard, so if they get... you joked about Salt, but I don't think your Salt was that bad. But I've definitely heard some gamers get really salty about Mega Man games, and it basically sounds like I haven't played a game this hard, and who knows how long. I'm not used to games being hard, stop being hard. And it's like, get good. Like, I know you had a few moments this morning, last night, however you want to look at it, because our schedules are weird, where you pointed out the fact that, like, the game teaches you to get better. Like, it teaches you to mess around and experiment with things until you figure out something that works, and it's really cool game design. A lot of people don't want that, though. They just want it easy. They just want it to be done. That's why I'm really adamant about when I am watching somebody play any of the Mega Man games, I'm like, I am not gonna tell you the boss order, and I am gonna get pissed if other people tell you the boss order, because I feel like that's kind of like the point of the games. Like, I'm really looking forward to when Mega Man 11 comes out, because it's going to have a completely fresh boss order. I'm not going to know it. It's been so long since I've had that experience of picking up a Mega Man game and not knowing what to do and having to learn it. Like, I'm really looking forward to that. Last time was when Mega Man 10 came out, and that was like almost a decade ago. And that boss order was very predictable, so I almost don't count it, because it was very easy to figure out. And then you had to deal with the misinformation this morning too, and that really got to me. Like, that made me so mad. You have no idea how much I had to be biting my tongue. I just wanted to be like, stop telling him the wrong things. Like, if you're gonna tell him the wrong things, don't tell him anything at all, and just let him figure it out. Yeah, that one especially, where they were like, oh, this is the armor, you need that. And I was like, that's not the armor. And they're like, yes it is. I was like, no it's not. I've played the game more times than how many years you've been alive. I know it's not the armor. It's the Buster upgrade. And then even once you got it, he didn't admit that he was wrong. He was just like, oh, I messed up the, oh, I was thinking of a different capsule. He didn't say like, oh, I'm sorry for the fact that I misled you or anything. Like, he was just like, oh, okay, moving on. And I was like, are you kidding me? Yeah, like, the worst part is that I don't know if he was trolling or if he was just legitimately confused. I have a real hard time with that sometimes. Sometimes I can't tell. Like, are they actually up to no good, or are they just kind of a dope? And then what do? You don't want to, like, ban someone or time them out when they're just kind of being dopey. Like, that's not entirely their fault. But yeah, if you haven't yet, be sure to check out the music from the remake, because it is really good. Unless you don't like rock, and then stay the hell away from it, I guess, but... And then I mentioned at one point, X3 has, like, some really intricate music to it. Like, I regularly forget that that game has such good music. X3 is hard, though. It's hard and it's confusing. Double oops. There. Oh yeah, that's not just your stream. I see it in a lot of streams where kids just talk because they want people to be like, oh, you know things? Tell me more. Like, they just want the attention. Hey Art, how's it going? This is Picross. And you are welcome for introducing you to it. Because it is a magical thing. Unless you don't like this sort of stuff, and then it's probably not so magical. I've been playing Picross for like 20 years, so I'm probably simultaneously making it look easy and making it look more confusing because I can go through it so quickly. And I just lost myself. Where is... Here we go. Here. Sometimes I take, like... I get distracted and then I completely lose where I was. Where my train of thought was. There's a bunch of different, like, assist modes in this game in particular that kind of help you learn it a little bit more. I just have them all turned off. Because sometimes they annoy me. Sometimes I'm just like, shut up and let me play. I got this. But yeah, I'm over the tutorial hurdle of this game, so now I'm like actually getting into more complicated puzzles. When I first started earlier, it was like all the really easy stuff to kind of like ease you into it, and I was like, this is boring. Now I'm actually having to think though. Which is good, because it got me focused, and it actually made my headache go away, if that makes any sense. Because for a while, I was just sitting here thinking about how bad my headache was. But then I started thinking about how the hell do I solve these things? The short version is that... Can I... No, that kind of covers up the whole screen, doesn't it? Basically, each one of these rows and columns tells you how many blocks you have to fill in. And each individual number needs at least one space in between them, and they have to be in that order. So, like here, for example, I already have this three plugged in. I know that nothing can go there, because there has to be a gap. I know that there's nothing over here, because I already have this one planned. So I have 5 open slots, and I have 2 blocks of 2 to fill in. There's only one way for those to go in there. Same with that. That's 3. Duh. That's already a 2. There's nothing greater than 2, so I can go ahead and block those 2 off. But then I was trying to explain earlier about how, like, when I get into the zone, I guess, that was wrong. Like, my cursor's in one place, filling in blocks. My eyes are somewhere else, already trying to figure out what I'm doing next. It's a tricky thing. Oh, we got a Camilla raid incoming. I kind of figured that you stopped a while ago, actually. How did the end of your... Well, is he even here yet? Am I addressing somebody who's not here yet? I think I might be. Yeah, okay. So I'll wait a couple more minutes. Reagan, how's it going? Nice to see you again. And yeah, sorry, View. They can be tough to explain. That's why I kind of like gave up explaining after a while and just went on my merry way, because I was like, they might not necessarily be picking up on this anyway. So, Oblivion Phantom, welcome. How's it going? Thank you for that subscription. I believe that was you. Yes, it was. AOA, welcome back. How's it going? Gunner, how's it going? Logan Fletcher, how's it going? You say Picross is your jam. I don't know if you were actually coming on the raid, but welcome anyway. And Jeffy, welcome. Again, I don't know if you came in on the raid. Pizza Lover, thanks for coming in on the raid. Am I missing anyone else? Hyrule Warrior, I see Camillo himself. Morgan Day. I think that's everybody? I think that's everybody. How's everybody doing? How did the rest of your shiny hunt go? I lurked for like a half an hour or so before I said screw it, I should try to stream tonight. I was originally taking the night off, but then I talked myself out of that and was like, no, I need to stop talking myself out of streaming. It's very easy to sometimes just be like, not tonight, but then I almost always regret it, so. Alright, Pizza Lover, thanks for stopping in, thanks for coming in on the raid. I hope to see you again soon. Well, didn't you get 2 shinies, like, a couple streams ago? So, maybe your luck is tapped out for a little while. Didn't you get one during your race, too? Or was that Phil that got one? But yeah, this is basically just a chill hangout stream tonight. Like, definitely more of a focus on hanging out with chat than the actual gameplay. Because I imagine not many people have heard of Picross, and if you haven't heard of it, you might not have any idea what you're looking at. And I don't think I'm very good at explaining it, so I haven't really been going out of my way to do so. So far, my explanations about it tonight have consisted of, well, I've been playing this for 20 years, and I just kind of know what I'm doing now. So, yeah. Yeah, I saw that Monster Hunter's getting a demo tomorrow. I'm hyped for that. I think I might stream it. I'm not sure. Oh, that's right. You got, or Phil got a shiny yesterday. I think it was the one before that you got 2. Didn't you get one like within like a dozen resets or something ridiculous like that? Phew. Yeah, because I skipped generations on 3DS, because at the time where I was living I had really bad internet, so I wasn't really in a place to be playing a game like that a lot. So I completely skipped generations. I think I did play the demo, but I'm probably gonna play the demo again, because why not? It's a free demo. Oh, it was a first encounter shiny too? That's crazy. Yeah, it's kind of funny. So, I'll pretty often basically give lectures while I'm streaming about, like, people trying new things. Because I feel like it was mostly inspired by, like, so many kids don't do anything but play Fortnite right now, right? And that kind of bothers me, because there's a lot of cool games out there in the world, and I wish that they would explore more. And the example I always give is Monster Hunter. The first time I played Monster Hunter was... what was it called? It was one of the ones on Wii. And I completely hated it. Like, I didn't care for it at all. And then when 3 Ultimate came out on Wii U, a friend bought it for me, because he wanted somebody to play with. So I said, okay, fine, I'll give it another chance. And so I gave it another chance, and I adored it. I absolutely loved it. And now I'm completely hooked on the franchise. If I would have never given it a chance, if I never would have given it a second chance, I would have completely missed out on, like, that entire part of my life. Like, I never would have found that that's a game I enjoyed so much. So I got 4 Ultimate when that came out, and I played the absolute hell out of it. And then, like I said, I had really bad internet when Generations came out, so I skipped that one. So I'm basically already going to buy it when it hits Switch. Like, that's not even a question. That's, yes, I'm going to buy it. And probably going to be streaming the hell out of it. I have a feeling a bunch of my regulars are going to be like, God, you're playing Monster Hunter again? And I'm going to be like, fuck yes, I'm playing it again. I need to kill another Diablos. Like, have you not been paying attention? Like, of course. Monster Hunter for days. And hopefully some of them will be like, hey, this game looks really cool. I want to pick this up. And I think that's a really cool thing as a streamer, when you can introduce people to new things. Because there's, like I said, there's a lot of games out there in the world that, like, a lot of people just have never even heard of. Morgan Day, thank you for the subscription. Welcome to Club Nintagious and all that fun stuff. Yeah, Monster Hunter's pretty unforgiving. I can see that. When I tried it on Wii, it was the controls that I didn't like. Like, it felt just really clunky and not intuitive. And it didn't hook me. Now granted, I was playing a demo. Maybe the fact that I played, like, the full version of 3 Ultimate helped me kind of, like, get into it a little bit more, since it eased me into it. Favorite weapon type? In 4, I played the... I always forget what it's called, because I think it's a different name in each region. Charge Axe? Is that what it's called? Switch Axe? Something like that? It's that axe that, like, transforms into a sword and shield. That's what I played in 4 a lot. I think I messed around with a few other weapons, but that was basically, like, my main weapon. Charge Blade, that's it. That's probably what I'll do in... Oh, yeah, they were 2 different weapons, actually. Yeah, it's the Charge Blade I'm thinking of, the one that turns into the sword and shield. That was the one I played a bunch of. I think I did some Switch Axe too, but, like, not a whole lot. I tried out a bunch of the different weapons and, like, made pretty high-level versions of each of them to get a good feel for them, but, I'll probably pick up the Charge Blade in, Generations. I'll probably stick with that. We'll see, though. I'll probably try out everything available in the demo and see if there's something that I'm like, oh, this is what I want to go with this time. I did play hammers for quite a long time in 3. And yeah, it's really cool that there's a Monster Hunter stage in Smash. That was something I went into it, like, really wanting to see. So, like, I thought that would have just been a really cool idea, so I'm glad that they're doing that. Trying desperately to, like... parse chat to see if I'm missing anything. But yeah, like, it sucks that Generations and World, like Monster Hunter World is hit PC like 2 weeks ago too. And I was like, I just can't spend $60 on 2 different Monster Hunter games. And unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to prioritize the Switch one for the sake of streaming. But maybe I'll get World at some point too. But my computer doesn't really handle streaming computer games, PC games very well, so... Did I mess up? I think I lost my train of thought and messed up. Oh, no. I think I see what I did. Yeah, there we go. Fixed. Oh, you didn't like Worldview? I've heard it's very different. I guess based on what you're saying, like, it's not a good different. Did it streamline it a little bit too much, maybe? That was something I was concerned about, actually, was that... Are there, like, so many quality of life improvements that it kind of, like, holds the game back? Yeah, I guess it's worth plugging myself there and saying, like, if you're interested in... If you don't know much about Monster Hunter and want to see more about it, I'll definitely be playing a bunch of it when it comes out. And I'll probably be playing... inviting viewers to play. Like, I might have to be picky there, because anybody who's played Monster Hunter probably knows that you can't play it with just anyone, because... You're basically sacrificing your ability to actually complete hunts if you're not careful. I mean, I'm fine with people that are learning, but there are some people that are just way too careless, and it causes problems. Like, even playing with randos online, you're gonna have that problem. I think I understand what you're saying, View. That it's almost too smooth. Like, I guess they took... I guess it's like, if you play a lot of Monster Hunter, you're already... You're kind of used to the fact that the controls are, like, a little bit more... heavy, if that makes sense. I don't want to use the word clunky, but they're definitely, like... They take some getting used to. And I imagine if you're already used to them... and then they change it up, you're probably like, this isn't the same thing anymore. I'm surprised my laundry isn't done yet, but... Gave me excuse long enough to hang out, long enough for you guys to show up, so that worked out pretty nicely. Which, big thanks, of course, to Camillo for putting that raid together, if you're still here. Oh god, I remember getting tapped by people that didn't know how to use their greatsword very well. Ugh, I forgot about that. Why do you have to remind me of such things, View? I was having a good night, and now it's just like greatsword PTSD. Thank you very much. Longsword, too, was another one that was pretty bad. And yeah, I don't get upset if people get killed, but like, yeah, if they're doing... Because like, sometimes you just can't stop it. Like, sometimes they trap you in combos, and you just can't get out of there. But some people are just like intentionally careless, like they think they're invincible, and that's the sort of stuff that bothers me. It's when I would assume that Generations still has the limit of like you can die 3 times, right? When it's the same person dying all 3 times, that's when I start getting upset. Like, if it's 3 different people, that's not a big deal. Like, shit happens. But if it's the same person every time, that's when it's like, okay, what's going on here? And I have to assume that as a streamer, you have to be, like, on self-defense, because you're probably going to get people who are doing it on purpose to troll. So, gotta watch out for that, too. Yeah, it's more so the people that like don't play like a team that frustrates me. I kind of could sense that was potentially going to be a problem with Paladins, which is kind of why I didn't stream it anymore. Because you have people that pick a support and then they don't heal anybody. It's like that sort of stuff just agitates me a little bit too much. Alright, Marco, thanks for stopping in. Sorry if I missed you and you already headed out. And thanks for that, View. Good looking out. I mean, I'm usually pretty open about people talking about their channels, because usually when people join, I'll be like, I'll ask them about their channels, or ask about however their latest playthrough went, or whatever, but there's definitely some people who are a little too open about it, so it's always nice to see streamers properly respecting each other like that. I try perhaps too hard to avoid talking about my channel and in other channels. Like, sometimes even the streamer brings it up and I'm, like, not totally comfortable talking about it. Even if I know that they are comfortable. I actually mod in 2 channels, and, like, even when they even if I, like, raid them, and they shout me out and say, oh, you guys should definitely check out his channel, I don't like posting a link to my own channel. Like, that just doesn't feel right. Like, I'll let one of the other mods do it, even though or the streamer themselves, even though they're saying, like, hey, post a link to that and go check him out, I'll be like, it's my channel, though. I don't feel that, even though you're asking me to do it, I still feel like that's self-promotion. And it's very tricky because I want people to be... I know people are excited about their channels, and I want them to be welcome to talk about it, but there's definitely, like, a time and a place for it, and, like, the correct context and such. I think I might just go finish up another line in regular Picross, because that's probably going to get these last 4, and then I can do all of them. And then maybe wrap up on that. I'm almost to 15 by 15 puzzles. That's kind of exciting. Alright, before I jump into this one, what am I missing in chat here? Mostly Monster Hunter talk, it looks like. Yeah, Logan, I remember having that problem in Monster Hunter 4, where I was decked out in multiplayer gear, and then I went back to single player, and I was, like, basically invincible. Except for that... So I'm bad with monster names, but there's that monkey that, like, goes Super Saiyan. That thing still beat the shit out of me. And alright, View, take it easy. Thanks for stopping in. It was nice to have you. Ketchawaka? Nah, that wasn't it. Ketchawaka was that early one. I'm gonna have to look. Give me a sec. It was a late game monster. It wasn't one that showed up until, like, post game. Rajang, that's it. You got it, that's it. Raging, whatever. Monster Hunter, like, that's gonna be a weird thing with streaming Monster Hunter, is because I think the monsters in Monster Hunter are just like Pokemon, in that a lot of people pronounce them in different ways. I think I'm gonna have a lot of people being like, that's not how you say it like this. And, like, I don't know. I'm probably gonna do my research into Japanese pronunciation and use the way they pronounce them, because that's usually how I do it. But then every now and then I'll see some that, like, the Japanese pronunciation sounds really stupid. So I'm not into it. I don't know. That'll be an interesting thing for sure. And even, like, the basic monsters are, like... I watched a reaction to the Smash Direct where they said, like... And again, maybe I'm the one that's wrong here. I've always pronounced it Rathalos. I don't even remember how they pronounced it, but it was really weird. And to the point that I didn't know that's what they were talking about at first. And I was like, what did they just say? And, like, I remember playing Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate and, like, being on voice chat with people when playing it, and yeah, there would be conflicting pronunciations of different names, and yeah, Logan, the one you just pointed out is a good example. I always pronounced it Lagiacrus. I think it's supposed to be Lagiacrus, because there's a quest called Lagiacrus Control. And I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be a pun, but Lagiacrus sounds stupid. So I always said it Lagiacrus, but then I heard somebody else pronounce it in a completely different way, and they were, like, very adamant that that was the correct way to do it, and I was like, who cares? Is it really that important? So yeah, that's gonna be a problem. Not necessarily a problem. It's gonna be interesting, though, I think. Especially watching people try to explain how they pronounce it over text, because most people are not good with stuff like that. So that's probably just gonna make things even more ridiculous. And I'm pretty sure Rathalos is right, because I'm pretty sure that's how they pronounced it during the Smash Direct. So that's probably official. You'd assume that they did their research on that. They do their research on everything else, like, to ridiculous degrees, so... Hey Dino, how's it going? Actually surprised you're still awake at this hour. I would assume that school's getting started for you soon, or not yet. Like, sadly, like, most of my regulars now are, like, they're not really around at this hour because school started for them this week. Yeah, it's 1:32 for me as well. My laundry did just finish, so I don't think I'm going to be going too much longer, but I encourage you to hang out until the end because we will go on a raid if we have the people to do it. I know I have like targets. I have good options for raids, so I would really like to. Oh, I definitely have some streamers live to raid, so it's not even a question of if there's anyone available. It's more so a question of, is anyone still here to raid? Which is why I say, I hope everybody can hang out for that. If you can't, I understand, but... Oh, Dino, you only just got back from vacation? How did that go? Where did you go? Actually, maybe I'll wrap up sooner rather than later, in the interest of getting that raid going before too many people have to go to sleep. Maybe I'll finish this one up, and then we'll do that. Because being real, I feel like Picross isn't going to really grab a hold of too many people's attention, so I'm a slight bit worried that, like, if I wait too long that everybody's gonna be getting going, and we won't be able to raid, and I really want to raid. Because I wasn't able to yesterday, that's the big thing. By the time I stopped, I think I had, like, one person left. I think I had a few people in lurking, but... kind of focused to get this done. Check. Yeah, I imagine this could be like, if you've never played Picross before, it's probably a lot to take in to try and understand exactly what's happening. I mentioned earlier in the stream a few times that I've been playing it for like 2 decades, so it's a lot of like almost second nature to me at this point. It's been far too long since I've played Monster Hunter for me to be able to say who my favorite monster is, because I feel like there are too many that I'm gonna completely forget about. Because I haven't played it since Monster Hunter 4, and that was what, like 3 years ago, 4 years ago? Like, that was a while ago. Hey Xylor, you're just in time. We are going to get a raid together. Because my laundry's done, so I need to go take care of that. I mean, I think I've been live. It's been a little over 2 hours. I'm good with that. And this worked out a lot better than I expected it to. I really didn't expect that many people to be tuning in to watch this, but yeah, I had a good amount of regulars popping in even earlier, and then again, big thanks to Camillo for that raid. He brought in a bunch of new people. And yeah, Xylor, this is basically the week of new games. I'm starting a bunch of new stuff this week, I think. Probably next week too. I don't know how much I'm gonna stream this in particular though. Not totally sure. This did do better than I thought, but I still I'm gonna have to look at like the exact view count and such. It's a puzzle game, Xylor. Somebody earlier said it reminded them of Sudoku a little bit. I have played Sonic Mania. I did a couple playthroughs of Sonic Mania before Plus came out, and I did like 3 after Plus came out. So those archives are definitely up on the channel if you want to go check them out. I might play it again in the future at some point too. The last one I did was going through Encore mode, no save, and trying to get all the emeralds, which I succeeded. I think I only needed 2 tries. Like the first try I did like really poorly on. But anyway, let's get this raid going. I will be back tomorrow. I think I'm gonna continue playing Kirby's Return to Dreamland tomorrow. Probably. I'd say like 98% chance. So yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in. I hope to see you there tomorrow if you can make it. But before you go, if you can join me on this raid, that would be fantastic. We're just gonna pop over with the hashtag Nintagious raid, and we are gonna head over to Dan Marchetti's tonight. It's been a long time since I've been able to raid him. He's working on Super Mario Odyssey damageless again tonight. He's trying to beat his own world record of how many moons he's gotten without taking any damage. He's still really early in the run, so there's going to be plenty to watch. He's early in the stream too, so he'll be live for a while yet. If you're a night owl like myself and want someone to watch all night, I think Dan's your man. So yeah, here is the link. If the link doesn't work for anybody, that is spelled like this. I will see you guys over there for the raid, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for Kirby, and I don't know, whatever comes after that. So yeah, thank you again everybody for stopping in, and I will see you next time.